The Benefits of Ethanol by Lauren Orlando. In the background, that's the Lewis dot structure of ethanol moving around. Ethanol, or CH3CH2OH, is a biofuel that is made from many different plant materials. We call this biomass. Ethanol is essentially an alcohol most commonly known for being added to gasoline in order to decrease smog emissions, including carbon monoxide, by increasing the amount of octane. The ethanol and gasoline mixture has 10% ethanol and 90% gasoline ratio, and it can go up to 15% and 85% ratio as well. In special cases, there are vehicles that can run on 51% to 83% ethanol. These vehicles are called flexible fuel vehicles. 97% of gasoline in the US has ethanol in it. This makes it one of the most commonly used biofuels. How is ethanol made? Ethanol is made from plant sugars and starches, which are made by the process of photosynthesis, which is in every growth of any plant. The most common source of these products are cornstarch, that is grown and cultivated in mass amounts. Fermentation is used to convert biomass into ethanol. The biological process known as fermentation, as you can see in the image to the right, uses soluble sugar, also known as biomolecules, from agricultural waste. From here, a multitude of microorganisms such as Zymomonas mobilis are used in aerobic conditions, also known as respiration, to make alcohol, thus creating ethanol. The process of converting insoluble sugars starches requires the hydrolysis of cellulose to turn the starches into the sugars that are then used in fermentation. Development status of ethanol. Adjustments and advancements are always being worked on to create more effective form of ethanol. Scientists are currently working on a way to convert non-edible fibrous materials such as lignin that makes up most of the plant into the sugars used in fermentation by using cellulose and hemicellulose. This might sound like the process already used to make ethanol from starch. However, lignin, or lignocellulosic biomass, is structured to combat depolymerization, so when it is hydrolyzed, it tends to be more difficult to turn into sugar syrups for fermentation. If scientists manage to make this process more reliable, it will make ethanol vastly more available. Lignin makes up most of the plant's cell wall, especially as the plants age, but it is very adverse to being hydrolyzed. It's not a carbohydrate. It's not digestible. So it would be very hard to do this. So if scientists are able to, it would change the whole game. The impact of ethanol on carbon footprint. The production and use of ethanol, corn ethanol specifically, helps reduce the carbon footprint and greenhouse gases. Ethanol has made up 23% reduction in greenhouse gas emission intensity in the past 18 years. All forms of ethanol do good for the environment. Its main use, as I mentioned before, is to reduce carbon monoxide, which is a very lethal gas if inhaled at lengths. I think we've all heard of carbon monoxide poisoning. One downfall of ethanol is that it is not a climate friendly due to land being turned into cornfields and also used for processing and combustion. To the right is just a bar graph of the impact on the carbon footprint that ethanol has. The economic impact of ethanol. Ethanol's economic impact is beneficial since it is made from crops such as corn. It offers jobs to many people in rural areas. There's also a considerable technology side of the ethanol industry, so it offers jobs to software professionals as well. Ethanol production has accounted for 35 billion gross domestic product and 19 billion in household income. Ethanol is renewable, which makes it environmentally effective. However, one of its downfalls is that gas with ethanol in it is 20% less energy per gallon than pure gasoline. So the fuel economy isn't positively affected by ethanol because the faster you run out of the gas, the more you'll have to pay for a refill. But I think the benefits outweigh the consequences in this scenario. Efforts to make ethanol more widespread. The knowledge and benefits of biofuels have been incorporated into politics and is a part of many laws, making it a need-to-know aspect of the U.S. Since there are scientists working day in and day out to find more efficient ways to make ethanol and other biofuels more accessible to the public, so there is constant news of innovations bringing biofuels back to the forefront of the public's mind. My analysis of this situation is that ethanol use provides more benefits than consequences, making an important resource for us to utilize. The analysis and plan of action. My analysis of the situation is that ethanol use provides more benefits than consequences, like I said, making it an important resource for us to utilize. I think I just restated that. If funding wasn't an obstacle, I would make the ethanol gasoline ratio 83% to 27%, lessening the carbon monoxide emissions and other greenhouse gases. This would require an expansion in land use to grow corn and jobs tending those lands, and the business and technology aspect of ethanol production, creating more jobs basically. To the right is just a chart of different plans of actions possible in ethanol. And this is my works cited. Thank you for listening, and please give me a good grade. Bye.